So we'll just start to settle into the breath for now and settle into your body. Start to notice your breath. Just notice the quality of your breath. And then start to deepen the breath as well. Maybe even increasing your exhalations so that they are longer than your inhalations. We'll start to get into the parasympathetic nervous system. And just notice how that feels. Whoops, excuse me. I'm gonna try to do music this time too, because we haven't done music in a while. So let me see if I can make something happen. I don't know if it will come through, but we'll see. So do a little body scan. Notice how your body is feeling. If there are any special places that need extra attention tonight. I am going to attempt a little bit of music tonight, and you can let me know if it's distracting or not. And then we'll start to come up from the floor, whether we are on our backs or in child's pose. Taking your time. Just start to sit on the heels. Actually, we'll start on the toes, since I know we haven't done this in a little while. Maybe even a couple of weeks for some of us. And of course, you can keep your block nearby. Then just bring your awareness to that. How does that feel? Do you feel one side more than the other? Or is one side more intense than the other? Full deep breaths. And we'll come forward just enough so we can tap out the toes, and we'll come back to sit on the heels, and then we'll slide off the heels to sit in a rest in a simple seat, you know, either cross-legged or one heel in front of the other. And if you'd like, you can sit on a blanket so we can get a little bit of height in the hips. And all this really does is, you know how for a lot of us, I would say probably a good 90% of us, our hips tend to rotate. They tend to slip backwards. So when we put the blanket down and we sit here, like we're on the edge of the blanket, that helps so that instead of the pelvis sliding back, it actually will help us rotate the pelvis forward so we can sit a little more straight on our sit bones. And then from here, you can either line up the heels or sit cross-legged. Either way is fine. And from here, we'll again just come back to the breath. And think about your spine for a moment and how we can elongate the spine. And one of the ways that we can do that is by simply lifting the crown of the head, almost like there's a little string pulling the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And you'll notice that even if you're sitting pretty comfortably, you'll notice that you can actually get, in some cases, a few inches more that we didn't realize we had. And this can be a little bit tiring sometimes if we do it for a long time, but that's why we practice yoga, is so that we can strengthen those muscles so that we can hold our bodies up, especially when we're sitting in meditation in traditional yoga, where you do the asana and then you sit in meditation for about 20 minutes to a half hour. So from here, we can have our eyes opened or closed. Hands can just rest on your thighs. And then let's just inhale and drop the head forward as you exhale. So we're coming into a chin to the chest. A little stretch on the back of the neck. And then we're going to take a few rounds of half rolls. So on your next inhale, you're going to turn the head and start to roll up one side until you feel like the ear is becoming parallel with the shoulder. And then as you exhale, you'll turn and look down and allow the head to very gently roll back to center. And without waiting for me, as soon as the next inhale comes, you'll start to roll up the other side. And keep going until you feel that ear coming to meet the shoulder. And then again, turning the head, looking down, and allowing it to roll back to center. So we'll do a few rounds of that, and we'll do it at your pace, and I'll do it at my pace. And we'll create a little bit of smoothness to this. Inhaling up one side, then exhaling to center, and then inhaling up the other side. Looking down, exhaling to center. Inhaling up one side. Looking down, exhaling back to center. And we'll do one more round. And exhaling to center. And at the end of that round, when you come back to center again, then we'll just lift the head slightly so that we're in a neutral neck again. But take your time, don't rush to get there. Then from here, we'll inhale the arms up overhead, clasp the hands, turn them inside out, press up as you exhale. Inhale again, stretch up, reach up, and then release as you exhale. We'll do it once again. Inhale the arms all the way up overhead. Feel the length in the spine here. Turn the hands inside out. Press up as you exhale. One more inhale, reach up, and then release as you exhale. And then we'll inhale again. And as we exhale, we'll let the head just gently fall over to the right, and we'll bring the opposite arm to come and rest on top of the head. Very gently, we're not pushing or forcing. Maybe if you'd like, you can take the opposite arm and bring that behind your back and just see if that's better or worse. You get to decide. And then let's just turn and look down, and hopefully you'll feel that right along here, along the back of the neck as well. Full deep breaths. And then slowly release, and we'll turn the head back, and we'll come right back to center again. And then one more inhale. And as we exhale, we'll lean the head over to the other side. Just rest the hand on top very gently, and only if you want to. And then the other arm can come behind the back. And even that is only if it feels okay for you, if it feels safe and it's not pulling or forcing anything. And then we'll just turn the head and look down. Breathe here a moment. And then slowly release the arms, and we'll turn the head, and we'll come right back to center again. Then we'll take the hands in front, come into potted palms, so your intended fingers. We're gonna get a little more length in the spine by creating some traction. So we'll just start to walk forward, slowly, gently, only go as far as you can comfortably go. You'll know when you've gone as far as you can go because your hips will wanna come off the mat. So once the hips start coming off the mat, then you can pause, press the hands into the floor to get the hips to come back down again. And then if you can maybe eke out another inch or two, you're welcome to. But again, it's really just about getting length in the spine. There's no end goal, it's just to get length in the spine. Then tuck the chin a little bit so we can elongate the neck as well. Nice full deep breaths here. Notice all the little muscles along the spine having their turn to get a little stretch. It's kind of hard to get in there. Very slowly, let's start to walk our way back up. Great, and then we'll inhale the left arm up. And then exhale, cross over the right and do a gentle twist, so nothing too much. Very gentle. Full deep breaths. Notice where you're feeling that, which side of the spine or along the ribs. Maybe even one of the shoulder blades or both. Then we'll slowly release and come back to the front. Take your time. And then we'll inhale the opposite arm up. So whichever one you started with, you can just use the other one. It doesn't matter if you're using the same arm as me or not. And then we're gonna cross over to the opposite knee and twist over to the other side. And you can't see them, but I've got some guidance here. I have Ganesha and I have Yoda, two of my favorites. And And I think I can get this to glow today too. I've got all my toys with me today. Again, full deep breaths. Then on your next exhale, very slowly, we'll turn back to the front. And then from here, you can place your hands on the shins. And we're gonna move our rib cage forward and back. So we can do it as an undulation, or you can simply do a forward back motion. Either way. And if you want to do an undulation, you'll lead with the head. We'll come forward and up, leading with the head and the chin and the chest. And then as we exhale, we'll round the back and allow the chin to come to the chest again. And when the inhale comes back in, we're going to move forward and up one more time. Full, strong, deep breaths, and then rounding the back as you exhale. And again, like all the other things that we're doing, you're going to go at your own pace. Synchronize your own breath with your own movement. We're just keeping everything soft, keeping the eyes soft and relaxed. Keeping the jaw soft and relaxed. We're just opening things up right now. Getting a little stretch. We'll do 2 more rounds of this, and then we'll all meet in a neutral spine again. And then once you finish those last 2 rounds and you've come to your neutral spine, we're going to start doing circles instead. And you can go as fast or slow as you want, as exaggerated as you want. If your legs are getting tired, maybe take them out front, give them a little shake, and then maybe cross them in the opposite way you had them the first time. And then we'll start to make some circles. So if you can imagine that your chest cavity, oh my God, I can see it in my head, because if it was like a cross section of your chest, right? Just imagine that that's going to be now going in circles this way. And you can hold on to the legs as you move back, and you can even push the legs away as you come forward and around. So try that out and see how that feels. And like I said, maybe even play around by maybe even exaggerating the movement a little bit, you know, coming a little deeper, twisting a little lower, and notice which muscles get to participate. Maybe there was a little muscle group that didn't get a chance to engage in this the last time if you were not going very low, or maybe you prefer to keep it up high. Again, we're all different, and it just depends on what your body might be wanting today. And then at whatever point you're comfortable, we're going to switch directions. And again, you can handle that any way you'd like. And if you feel any pops or cracks in a good way, that's always a good thing. That means we're getting things moving. I often get little pops or cracks in my spine when I do these, when I do twists sometimes. We'll take a couple more circles, and then we'll come back to neutral again. We want to get all the little parts. Everybody gets a stretch, everybody gets a movement. Let's do some shoulder circles from here. And again, maybe go slow and exaggerate the movement a little bit. Maybe bring the shoulders all the way up to the ears as you come around. And that might create more tension temporarily, but once you start to go around, it'll feel even better as you release it. And then again, like we did before, we'll switch directions and then notice what feels different when you switch directions. Notice where your hands are. What do your hands want to do? Are they floating? Are they lifting? Do they want to dance? Let them do what they want. Maybe they don't do anything. That's okay. And then we'll pause the circle when you're ready. Let's get into the side body a little bit too, okay? Let's take up that left arm again and take the right arm out to the side and start to walk it over. And then this arm is gonna come up and over and around. Only go as far as you can comfortably go. Wait until you're feeling it all along the rib cage. That's what we want. Maybe even feeling it all the way down to the hip. That would be really nice. So let's see if we can get that to happen. How far you go doesn't make a difference. If you're feeling where you're hoping to feel it, that's what we're going for here. So there's no end goal. We're not trying to touch the floor. We're just trying to stretch the side of our body. And then from here, we're going to turn and look down and see if we can get the back body to participate. So some of the shoulder blade muscles, you can reach forward here. You can even maybe play with the angle a little bit. We just want to create space and length. And again, full deep breaths. On your next inhale, we'll press that hand into the mat and reach up and over with the opposite arm. And just like a bunch of synchronized swimmers, we're going to come over to the other side. And again, you can start on fingertips, you can plant the hand, it's up to you. I like to plant my hand and then I like to push the ribs away so I can get more length that way. That feels really, really good for me. So maybe play with that a little bit. And we'll just pause and breathe for a moment. Just really enjoy the sensation of stretch here. Notice if you're feeling as much on this side as you did on the first side. Can you feel it all the way from the ribs down to the hips? Maybe you can come a little lower. Maybe you can take one more half an inch or an inch and see if that makes a difference. And then from here, we're going to turn the body and look down, reach forward with the left arm. Really exaggerate the stretch a little more. Maybe even play with the angle a little bit. It's up to you. Full deep breaths. And then on the next inhale, press the arm into the mat. Reach up and over. Take your block. We're going to place it in front, and you can place it at any height. We're going to take our arms behind our back. So you can either do prayer pose. I'm just going to hold my elbows. Personally, I just think it's a little easier. We don't all have super flexy shoulders, so just be mindful of that. Then we're going to lengthen the spine and inhale and look up. And then from here, fold forward until your head comes to the block. And that's how you'll decide how high you'll put the block. Maybe you don't need the block at all. It just depends. You can also stand the block up high. So whatever you need to do to rest the forehead, that's what we're going for here, is to be able to rest the forehead, the piece that we call the third eye. And even if you need to stack 2 blocks, feel free. Then on your next inhale, see if you can press up just with the inhale. Just give it a try. If you can't, you can't, not a big deal. But everybody did it, see? That's all. Your abdominals, you're so much stronger than you think. From here, we're gonna, with the legs crossed, we're gonna just sort of move forward onto hands and knees. And then if you need your blanket to put maybe under your knees, feel free to do that. We're gonna do a little bit of hands and knee stuff. So keep the knees, hips width apart, keep the wrists underneath the shoulders. We'll take a few cat-cows here so we can warm up a little bit more. And as you know, I know everybody knows how to do this, so as we inhale, we'll shine the chest forward, lift the gaze, everything up. And then as we exhale, we'll slowly start to round the back, tilt the pelvis, allow the chin to come to chest, loosen the neck, let go. As the breath comes in, we let the belly drop, we let the chest shine forward again. Gaze is up. And as the breath moves out, we round the shoulders again, chin to chest. We'll go back and forth a few times. Again, at your own pace, synchronizing your own breath with your own movement. If you'd like, you can challenge yourself to maybe breathe a little slower than you normally do. But if it makes you uncomfortable, then there's no need. We'll do 3 more rounds of cat-cow. And then we'll meet in a neutral spine. Pressing those arms into the mat, keeping the arms strong. Legs are strong as well, or pressing the legs into the mat. Really allowing those shoulder blades to spread apart, make a little space in there. Those muscles are kind of hard to stretch too. And then when you're ready, we'll come to a neutral spine. And then from our neutral spine, we did our toes, so let's take our right leg back and get into the calf muscle here and the hamstring. So we'll just come to the ball of the foot, keep the leg straight, the gaze is past the mat, and we're pressing the heel back so we can feel the stretch, right? Deep into the hamstrings as well as into the calf muscle too. Full deep breaths. And then let's take the right leg behind the left, rest it on the outer edge of the foot. Look over the shoulder. And then we'll bring that right leg back to starting. And then we'll take the left leg back when you're ready. And we'll repeat the same thing on this side. So we're starting on the ball of the foot. And then we're pressing the heel back, getting into the calf muscle. If it's too intense, or if you feel one side's more intense than the other, you can try pressing the heel back and then letting it go, and then doing it again. So maybe just coming in little bits at a time. Either way is fine. Neither option is better or worse. And breathe through here, full deep breaths. Let's take that left leg behind the right, onto the outer edge of the foot. Look over the right shoulder. Full deep breaths. Feeling that nice stretch along the left side of the body. And then we'll slowly release, come back to center. We'll do a little balance, a little bit of core strengthening. So we'll take that right leg back out, and this time it's up in the air. Find your balance and stay here. If it's okay, you can take the left arm out and maybe stay here for a few breaths. You can feel some of those core muscles working. And if this feels easy and you would like to bend the right knee and reach back and take the ankle or foot, you are invited. Release the foot if you did take it, and then reach the arm back out forward again. Full deep breaths. And then we'll slowly release. And then we'll take the left leg back. And again, if this is enough and this feels pretty good, just stay here. If you can take it a little further, then we'll take the right arm out and we'll stay here and breathe. And if you want to go to the next stage or step, we'll reach back and take the foot or ankle. Only if your body is saying yes, because our body does not say yes every day. So just breathe here. Then release the foot or ankle if you did take it, and we'll reach forward again with the right arm. And then we'll slowly release. And then take the knees a bit wider, bring the toes together, and we'll just sit back into child's pose with the arms out in front, forehead to the mat. Then lift the forehead off the mat, and let's walk the arms over to the right as far as you can comfortably go, and then lower the forehead again and breathe. Then lift the forehead again, and we'll start to walk the arms back towards the center, and we're going to go all the way to the left and lower the forehead again. then lift the head off the mat again. We're going to come back to center. Come back to tabletop. And then we're going to take the left hand and just bring it to the center, so it's sort of like right under your face. The left knee, or the left lower leg, is going to kick out like a kickstand. We're going to come into a side plank with that knee bent on the floor. So take your time. The right foot will be on the floor, and we're going to raise that right arm up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Take your time getting there. Your gaze can be forward, it can be up towards the ceiling. If it bothers your neck, you can simply look down. And then if you want to take this a little bit further, a little extra challenge, maybe take the right leg up. Just see how that feels, if that's accessible. It might be a little scary at first, so if it is, just maybe come up an inch or two and see how that goes. But if this feels really easy and you're like, I got this, no problem, then bend that right leg and reach back and maybe give yourself a little back bend this way. It's actually not as hard as it looks. Beautiful. So see, there's so many different stages that we can try and different parts of the same pose. Then go ahead and release, and we'll bring that foot back to the mat. Nice work. And we'll come back forward, and we'll take the other side. I'll go on this side for you to make it easier for you to see me. So we'll kickstand the right foot this time, and we're going to bring our weight to the right arm, and we're just slowly going to lift that left arm up. So the left foot can just be flat on the mat. Just take a few breaths here. And if this feels very easy, very accessible, you can go ahead and take that left leg up as well. But again, just do what your body is saying yes to, right? It should be an enthusiastic, yes, I got this, I can totally do this. Full deep breaths. And if that feels easy and you want to reach back, bend the left knee, take the foot or ankle, you can try that as well. And if you try it and you don't like it, that's okay too. You can just let it go. You can try it for a few seconds. You never know. Beautiful. And if you did take the ankle or foot, then we'll go ahead and release back to leg up. Then we'll bring the leg back down. And then we'll turn back towards the mat, back to tabletop, and from tabletop we'll come into our favorite twist. We'll inhale the right arm up, and we'll exhale the arm underneath the left and come to rest on the head and shoulder. Full deep breaths, nice and easy. Letting gravity do the work. And you can keep the left hand where it is, or you can just walk it forward. That's just one option. You can also raise the arm up towards the ceiling. You could rest it on the lower back or even wrap it around the waist. Completely up to you. Then we'll slowly release the left arm and bring the hand back to the mat right next to your face, and then press into the mat to gently come out of that twist. Take a full inhale and exhale here. And then we'll inhale the left arm up, and we'll exhale the left underneath the right. So coming to rest, just like we did on the other side, and the right hand can stay where it is, or you can walk the arm forward. And just as a reminder, the other options are also to raise the arm up towards the ceiling, Rest it on the lower back or wrap around the waist. And then from here, we'll bring the right hand back to the mat one more time. And then we're just going to walk the arms forward. And we're going to start to lower the chest towards the mat. Okay, and you can bring your chin to the mat or the forehead. And another option, if you would like a little more stretch in the shoulders, once you come down to the mat, you can bend the arms, come into prayer hands, and simply bend the arms and bring your hands behind your head. And that's just an option. The other option is to just keep the arms out in front of you and get that nice curve in the upper back and come into a back bend here. And then we'll slowly lift the head slightly and take the hands, start to walk the hands back again. We're going to make it easier tonight too. Instead of doing any down dogs, we're actually just going to stay where we are, and we'll come up onto shins and just bring that left foot forward, and we'll come into our low lunge that we always do, just without the down dog in between. So we'll go ahead and take our low lunge. And we'll clasp hands and just place the hands in the upper thigh. And as you're pressing into the legs, see if you can bring length into the spine by lifting the crown of the head, lifting the chest, just creating more length. And you're pressing into that leg as leverage. And then let's inhale the left arm up towards the ceiling. Let's cross the left arm over the right thigh. Bring hands into prayer. And we'll twist here and just stay here and breathe. And if you would like, you can curl the toes under and straighten that back leg, but that's just an option. Otherwise, just stay where you are and breathe. If you did take the leg up, we're going to bring it back to the mat, and then we'll turn everything towards the front. And we'll bring the right foot out so that both of the hands are on the inside of the right foot. The right foot can stay flat, or you can bring it to the outer edge. We're going to press the left hand into the mat. And then from here, we're going to take the right hand and press it into the right leg and turn and look over the right shoulder. And then slowly we're going to turn back towards the center. We're not going to go into the deeper part of this pose because we are running out of time, unfortunately, but we're going to bring the right leg in. And then you can lift the toes or not, that's up to you, but we're going to do a little bit of a half split. So the knee can be bent if you need it to be. And we're basically just going to fold over that leg. Full deep breaths. You'll definitely feel this all along the back of the right leg. And then we'll slowly come forward and then release the foot and bring it right back to meet the left. And we'll just slide the left leg forward. And we'll come into our low lunge this way. So we'll take, again, like we did on the other side, we'll clasp the hands. We'll lean forward into the top of the left thigh, pressing the hands into the thigh for leverage, and then lifting the chest and elongating the neck by lifting the crown of the head. Full deep breaths. From here, we'll release the right hand. We'll lift it up overhead, reaching up, and then crossing over the left. Hands together. Stay here and breathe. If you would like, you can curl the toes under and straighten the back leg, but it's just an option. Full deep breaths. And if you did decide to take the leg up, you can bring that down. And then all of us will release the twist and turn towards the front. We'll bring the hands to the inside of the left foot. Left foot can be out maybe about a 45-degree angle, and it can either stay flat or you can be on the outer edge of the foot. We're going to press the right hand into the mat, and we're going to look over the left shoulder and press the left hand into the upper left thigh. And just do a little bit of a twist here. Full deep breaths. And slowly we'll start to release that and come back to the inside of the left foot. We'll bring that left foot back in, and then we're going to do our little half split. So we're just going to fold over the left leg. And again, the foot can be flat. You can lift the toes. The knee can be bent. There are a lot of different ways to do this. And we'll breathe here a moment. And then we'll slowly release by coming forward slightly, and then we can slide that leg back. And then from here, we're just going to sit on the heels and move things out of the way, and then we're going to come onto our backs. So once you're on your back, you can just hug the knees into the chest. Maybe give yourself a little rock, a little side to side. And then bring your feet to the floor. And as you inhale, press the pelvis up off the floor and then lift the arms up and overhead. Couple more breaths. On your third exhalation, whenever that will be, you're going to lift the arms back up overhead again and start to lower the spine, uncurling it one vertebrae at a time. And the arms will come to land next to the feet. From here, take the left leg out, bring the right leg in, and you can clasp the hands and just pull the shin in towards the chest. Couple of breaths here. And then release the right leg, but the foot's just going to come to the upper left thigh. We're going to come into a twist. So the left hand can take the right knee and just gently guide everything over to the left. And then the right, your head can either be up at the ceiling or look over the right shoulder. And the right arm can be out by your side. And then we'll slowly release that twist on this side. Extend the right leg. And then bring the left knee towards the chest, clasping the hands around the front of the shin and just bringing that leg in towards the chest. Full deep breaths here. And then we'll release the left leg so that the foot can come to the top of the right, and just gently guide the knee over to the right with your right hand, and the left arm can be out by your side. Gaze can be up at the ceiling or looking over the left shoulder. And then slowly release the twist, bring everything back to center, and then hug the knees into the chest one last time and give yourself a little rock. And then when you're ready, you can take the legs out in front, and we'll come into a Shavasana. So whatever you need to do to be comfortable, you can maybe grab a blanket or whatever you need. Maybe even some people place a rolled up towel under the knees. You can place a little beanbag over the eyes. Just make it easy and cozy. And we'll just start to let go of the deep breath. We'll just come right back into the natural rise and fall of your regular breathing pattern. And start to let the legs and the feet feel heavy, let the calves feel heavy, feeling the weight of your body in the mat, on the mat rather. And then maybe even feeling the mat against the bottom of your body, feeling it against the back of your legs. Softening the thighs and releasing the sacrum and the pelvis, letting them just, again, sink into the mat, knowing that you are fully supported. And softening the abdomen, maybe just bringing your awareness to the breath moving in and out of the belly. Softening the chest and the area around the heart. And softening the neck muscles and the jaw. Releasing the jaw and releasing the tongue if it's stuck to the roof of the mouth. Softening the muscles of the face and the muscles of the cheeks, around the eyes, between the eyes. And we'll start to bring awareness back to the room. Maybe just take a full deep breath to start. Maybe even wiggle fingers and toes. Maybe take the arms up overhead. Give yourself a full body stretch. And we'll bend the knees and bring the feet to the mat and roll over to one side before coming up to sit, just to make it a bit easier for yourself to come to that sitting position. And we'll close our practice with hands in front of the heart if that resonates with you. Thank you for coming to practice. As always, so nice to see your faces. And this group, this is like the old group. So we'll chat later when it's done. But anyway, thank you. May we all be happy, may we all be peaceful, and may we all be free from suffering. Namaste.